guys, this will be my first recorded lesson. We'll see how this goes. We are going to be doing our end of the quarter evaluation, creating a cover in Photoshop. So there's certain specifications that I have set up for you in Focus that I want you to go over. But as of right now, this is going to be the final product. You're going to have something similar to this. It's going to be a cover for your binders that talks about the college or school or career field you're choosing to go to, has your name on it, has the career field that you're going to be getting your degree in or pursuing, and then also a paragraph about why you want to go into that field and attend the college. You will also incorporate images, multiple images, in your final design. So in Focus, I have step-by-step instructions on what you need to do. So the step-by-step instructions will look like this. You will just follow along. The first thing, you're going to figure out the career path that you're pursuing that we've talked about earlier on in the year. You're going to research the college or tech schools that have that option. So make sure you do your research. Make sure the college that you are choosing has that major in their program. Don't just choose your favorite college or the college that your parents went to. Do your research. Make sure it's the college you want to go to. If you have more than one, you're welcome to do more than one options. This is your collage, and you can design it how you want as long as you're following along with my guidelines. Next, you're going to choose your color palette. Pretty much your color palette should be the same as the school's colors, or if you decide to go in the military colors for that branch, or for the Marines, the Navy, and so on, or complementary colors. Once you have your color palette set up, you're going to create a mood board in Photoshop. A mood board is going to look something like this. I have uploaded to Focus. I have a folder that has sampled mood boards, so you can check them out and see what you think. Get an idea of how your mood boards will look. And this computer is very slow. I apologize. Here's our mood board. So your mood board, I want you to have colors, the color scheme you're going to go with. I want you to have images in there that showcase how you're going to be doing your final product. You can add textures, you can add colors, things like that. I want you to add a font scheme that you are choosing. You can go with your final font scheme, or as you see here, there's multiple font pairings that you can decide with on your final design. And I want to make sure that you are saying something about it, your final design, how the feel is going to be. Is it going to be exciting? Is it going to be bold? Is it going to be dark? How's the final feel going to be? So this is a sample of the mood board. You feel free to check out the rest of them in the zip file that I've uploaded into Focus. Also, in Focus, you will have your rubric. The rubric is going to be how I'm grading the final product that you turn in. Make sure that you read through this. You're not going to automatically get the highest grade for just turning it in. I'm going to make sure that you are paying attention to all the guidelines, following along with the step-by-step instruction, understand what you're doing in Photoshop, and that you are paying attention to the elements of design that we talked about as far as color choices, typography, creating a hierarchy, how you create the hierarchy, and things like that. So pay attention to the rubric and how I'm going to grade. So let's get back into Photoshop. In Photoshop, you are going to start with your mood board. So you're going to create a mood board. So this is a mood board that would have been created for this final product. So here's a mood board. I want to make sure that you have on there some images. Here are some images of the college, our mascot, the logo. I've added color scheme that I'm going to go with. I've added font types. I decided to go with the sans serif font to pair with the serif font of the Collage. And for my title, I went with a bolder look and then a regular for the body copy. I also added my words. I want it to be fun, clean, and appealing. So you're going to be working on your mood board. That is going to be the first thing that you create. When you're done with your mood board, you have multiple layers. You want to make sure that you flatten those layers. You would go to Layer, go down, Flatten Image. This will flatten all of your layers here on the side. And then you're going to save it as a PDF. You would go to File, Save As a PDF, Photoshop PDF, 2/3 of the way down. I choose pictures so I know where to find it, and it's last name _ moodboard. All of this information is in focus on your eval. Last name _ moodboard, print type, 8.5 by 11, portrait. These are all the things that I want you to do. I want you to look up the sample mood boards in focus. Then you're going to be creating your own, making sure you have the color swatches, font combinations, illustration styles. So these could be the actual college or career field you're deciding to go to, mascot, campus. I want any other graphic elements, including textures and patterns for the background. And I want the adjectives that capture the desired tone and personality of your final presentation. You're going to save it as a PDF to pictures and then upload it to Focus. That's the first step. So the first step is your mood board. The second step will be sketches. So I'm going to go back to Photoshop, show you in some sketches. I personally want you to just do it on a blank piece of paper with pencil or pen and draw 3 sketches with the required content in different ways. So I did this just so you can see it in the video. I have the school or college name up here, my name, my career, picture of the campus is going to be the background, why I want to go to that college, my mascot's going to be here, and the logo is going to be here. But for my second option, I'm going to do my name really large down the side, put the logo on the top, college or school, career choice. I want the background to be just the school colors and then my why. So those are 2 options. I want you to do 3. If you do it on paper, I want to make sure that you hole punch it and put it in your binder. If you decide to do it in Photoshop, it's a little bit more difficult and more time consuming, but if that's your preference, you can do that. Make sure you save it as a PDF, 3 of them, 3 sketches, and upload them to Focus. That would be your second part. Make sure you have 3 different ideas on a blank piece of paper, and they are going to include all of this here. Okay? So you can read that. I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you. You can read this on your own and focus. The final step is to create your final cover. You're going to create a new document in Photoshop, last name _ college, print type, 8.5 by 11, portrait, and you are going to make sure that you include everything that I specify here. While you are working on this document, it will take a while, and I want you to make sure you save it as a PSD file. PSD file is the first option. When you go to File, Save As, we go to the type, and it's the first option right here. This is going to save it as a Photoshop type, and it will keep your layers so that you can save it later on. Then you save it, and I'm going to say do not show me again. Then as I'm working, if I make changes to my document, I can go back in here and save it again. All I have to do this time is do Save, File Save, or Control S. This will save my work as I go as a Photoshop file, so I don't lose anything if the computer freezes up or if I don't get done in time. Okay, so make sure you're doing that as you go. So I'm only grading you on what you've learned so far in Photoshop. You know how to add text, You know how to move objects. You know how to take the background out of objects with the quick selection tool, as well as the eraser or the magic eraser tool. You also know how to crop, and you know how to, what are the other things you know? You know how to do red eye, well that's my commercial art 2 class. You know how to use the paintbrush as well. So I'm going to be grading you on those specific things. I'm going to show you a couple other things as I create a new mood board for you to let you go over and above if you choose to. So when you're creating your mood board, you're going to go to File, New. You're going to choose Print, last name, _ mood board. Eight and a half by 11 inches, portrait, and create. Once I create this, I am going to go ahead and go to File, Open. I am going to look for images that I've gotten off the internet for my college or school or military, something that you choose to. This one already has the background erased from it. If it does not have the white erase for it, make sure that you use your quick selection tool if that's the best option. If it's just a white option, I would go to your magic eraser tool, which is underneath your eraser tool, magic eraser tool, click on that white background, it will take it away. You need to make sure you check the filled in areas because it will not select those, so go ahead and click on those to erase that background. Then you go over to your layers panel. On the right hand side, you're going to choose the little icon of that layer. You're going to drag it to your mood board till your mood board pops up, and then drag it in and let it go. When I go to move it, I'm going to do my move tool, making sure that the show transform controls is checked. If this is not checked, there will not be a box around your image, so you won't be able to resize it. Make sure that is checked. Hold down Shift on your keyboard so you do not distort your logo, and you're going to get it to the size you want. Say OK, move it into position, and there's your first layer. Then you're going to go to File, Open, and you're going to open something else from the school. So I have a picture of the mask that I took. Opened up a new document up here. I'm going to take my layer icon down on the right hand corner, and I'm going to move it to my mood board. Put my little mascot in there. If I need to resize it, I'm holding down Shift on my keyboard to move it around. Notice for my mood board, the background is still there. But if you look at the final collage, I've removed the background. So these are things you want to think about, how you're going to be designing your final cover. I'm going to bring in one more. I'm going to go to File, Open. I'm going to bring in the campus. Well, I am going to then go over to this one, and I'm going to step back so I no longer have these layers flattened because I've already brought this into focus earlier. Into Photoshop earlier. I'm going to drag this layer over to my mood board and place it in there. So then you're creating your mood board. You're moving things around where you want them to be with the move tool. Okay, figuring out. Then you're going to add some colors. So to add a color, this is something new I want to show you really quickly. Down here on the very bottom of our layers panel next to the trash can is a little square with the corner turned up. That is our add new layer. So we're going to create a new layer. It's important each time we add something new, we're creating a new layer so we have flexibility to change it next time. You can use this selection tool to create a box, but we can also go down second one underneath the type tool and choose our rectangle tool. So we can just add a rectangle once we add this rectangle, we can choose the color. So we can go over here in our properties panel, double click on this color, single click on the color, and choose a color from here. Nope, never mind. I'm going to go back to here, and we are going to try to show you guys a different way than I did it before, because this computer has very little memory and it won't let me do the way I want it to do it. Alright, so we are going to make sure that we have the color first before we do our box. So we're going to double click on our color swatch. If you notice, when I come outside of this window, I have a little eyedropper tool. So I can move this around. I'm going to go over to the shield and I'm going to grab that garnet. So say OK. Then I'm going to go to my rectangle, do my rectangle, and it will be the garnet color. Okay, so create a new layer. I'm going to change the color. This is the gray I've already chosen from the logo up here. So I've already used my eyedropper tool, chosen the gray, do my rectangle, add my rectangle, and then one more, I want to add the gold. So I'm going to do my eyedropper tool into the gold, say OK, and then do my square. Before I do that though, and obviously I did not change my color properly, I did not create a new layer. So create a new layer, go to your rectangle, create your rectangle, and now you have your color. The important reason to have your own new layers is that when you want to go change the sizes of these, that you can. If they're all on the same layer, you won't have the flexibility to move them around. Last thing you are going to be adding with the type tool, you're going to be adding how you want this to look. So you are going to be adding a type box to here, and I'm going to say I want it to look appealing. I'm going to highlight this by clicking on the back and dragging across. I want to make it larger and I want to make it bold. So I have my font chosen here. I'm going to go here and make it bold. Say OK. Yes, that's what I want. I'm going to move it into place, and that will be my mood board. So at any time, if you're having a hard time, you mess up, you are going to go to Edit, Step Back. Or if you have a part selected accidentally, there's my selection box. This will only let me work within that selection box. You go up to Select and Deselect. That will get rid of your selection. So if you accidentally chose something that you weren't supposed to, and this computer is kind of difficult because there is not enough RAM. So anyway, that's what we need to do. You need to have your mood board. You need to have your final collage uploaded to Focus, and you need to have 3 sketch options. Sketch options could be digital or hand-drawn on paper. If they're hand-drawn on paper, put them in your binders. So if you have any questions, let me know. I hope this helped walking you through. One last thing I want to show you. If you notice, I have a white box here on the back, and then you can see through to the image. That is opacity. So I'm going to go back over to my mood board. Go to my layers panel right here. So I have the picture of the lion selected, and I'm going to change the opacity right here, right in the layers panel. Go here, change the opacity, and you can move that around for a nice fun effect. Alright, so with this one it would be better to do the campus, and then we'll be able to see appealing better. There we go. So I hope you guys have fun with this project. I cannot wait to see your final outcome. Make sure you go to your layers, flatten your image, File, save as. For the final one, uploading to Focus, make sure that it is a PDF. All right. Hope you have a wonderful time. Have fun. Be creative.